Hi everyone, hello, how are you all today on this glorious Easter weekend? So I have jumped on to join you for the continuation of our study into the tarot cards and learning with me, Anne-Marie, Tarot with Anne-Marie. Hi. Wow, and Nicola, you are on the ball there, letting everybody know. I love it. She's so good. What would I do without you, Nicola, too? Thank you so much for letting people know that this is training. So we are continuing learning about the cards. And if you would like a copy of this PDF that I'm using, your copy will be white. Mine is purple so that I don't look washed out behind me. You are welcome to write to me for your copy at hello@tarotcourses.online, where you can find out more about how to read the cards, where I teach you the courses of how to go through the Cups family, the Wands family, the Pentacles, the Court cards, the Major Arcana for beginners, and how to use my signature method of reading, which has given me a career. I've been able to read for 30 years as a professional reader and lead a team of well over 250 psychics, mediums, clairvoyants. So I have done a lot on this subject. I am still learning like you, but I am happy to share what I know about the cards. So with no further ado, good morning, Nicola. Good morning to you. Let's jump in. And we've got 6 people watching. So please do put your comments up there if you want to ask any questions. If there is something you're not sure of, if there's something you'd like to know, then I'd be happy to answer your question. So if you are looking to learn the tarot, this is a great place to actually come and have a community where I can go over it with you. I've taught tarot to many. They've gone on to actually have a professional career and lucky enough to be able to sort of leave what they're doing and do something that they love instead and get paid for it. Or simply, if they're an enthusiast wanting to learn more. Okay. I don't actually, haven't put it on the actual description of how to connect with Restream today. Unfortunately, I've run upstairs to use the computer up here and I don't have that link. Nicola, you might have the link to Restream. I'm afraid maybe I have. Hold on. Have I got it to hand? Let's have a look. Bear with me if I've got a Facebook user coming in here and we've got no link. Okay. So let's see if I can copy that. Okay, it's not. Oh, it is. Hold on. You've got it from Facebook. Excellent. Thanks, Nicola. Okay, so yeah, if you want to learn the cards and you want to actually read professionally, or you want to read for yourself, or you want to get better, or you're just starting out, here is the place to actually learn more about the cards. And this is the key points of the cards. I also have a workbook with slightly different to this, with more information, the kind of sentences that I use as a professional tarot reader in my tarot key points, which you can buy if you want to. or you can have the free copy here, and the one that you buy will come from tarotcourses.online. So if you want to pop on there, you can find out all of the courses, and it starts from beginners and goes right through into intermediate till you become advanced, and that one's a bit special. So this is just the basics starting you off. So we're continuing our journey here on YouTube and Facebook and LinkedIn and Twitch and Twitter and, oh my goodness, all those places. Pinterest, it goes on Daily Motion. I can't remember how many places I stream to, but we are sharing the key points of the cards, and we go through our journey. I started right at the beginning with the major arcana, and we're working our way through the minor arcana, and we are up to the cups. If you want to actually go back because you've missed some, go and have a look in the playlist that's under Tarot Workshop or Tarot Tuition. I've done 2 lots on YouTube, okay? And you can always join my group, which is up there on the screen, which is the Facebook group, Tarot with Anne-Marie, or one of the groups is Talk About Tarot. So there you go. That's all of that. So what is the Knight of Cups? Well, the Knight of Cups is associated with Scorpio, okay? And you might think, well, what's that got to do with anything? Well, it tells you an awful lot if you know your astrological sign of Scorpio and the timings for Scorpio, which is the 23rd of October to the 21st of November. It helps you. And court cards are really, really those kind of cards where you kind of go, oh my goodness me, what am I actually sort of using them for? Well, let me just kind of say to you that if you know the astrological star sign of somebody, the court cards coming up, you're being given diamonds. You really are, because the Knight of Cups is the bringer of hope. He's someone that's always in transit. He may not be very reliable. So what's the secret of looking at your card? Well, it's telling you about somebody, and it's usually the person who's having the reading. It's an aspect of them, and it's also possibly their star sign that you're actually wanting to actually look at. So, you know, you would look at the major card next to it. You would look at it, the place that it's landed. Is it in the self? Is it in the emotions? Is it in the spiritual advice? Is it in what's coming? Is it what's happened in the past? Is it what's happening now? Is it coming? And if so, in which month? I can teach you all of that, you see. Okay, so court cards they're feared by a lot of people, that they are absolutely wonderful. And I would say to you, I'm missing so much if you don't look at your court cards. They really are fabulous. Okay, I've switched it around today. I've kind of come in with the Knight of Cups, and we'll go into the Page of Cups afterwards. Okay, so this is someone that's always in transit, and as I said, may not be reliable. So what is a knight? A knight is somebody that's kind of, it's like about 20-something sort of when we are developing as a person. Please do not think that I'm giving you that to say that's how old they are. It's not. They're behaving in a way where they've learned a little, but they're not there yet. You know, when you are a teenager, you think you know everything. And then when you are in your 20s, you think, right, I've got it now. And then when you're in your 30s, you kind of go, crikey, you know, I know even more. And so on. It's not about age, but I'm using that as an analogy to say to you, it's how that person is. So a knight is somebody that's learned some things, but they've not learned it all. They are still learning. And the suit, cups, all about emotions. It's nothing to do with what this person's thinking. It's nothing to do with what they're going to do. People go, what do you mean? And it's like, well, it's a cup. A cup is what you're feeling. It doesn't mean you're going to do it. And it's not the same as something that's grounded like your pentacles. Pentacles are things that have manifested a product. You know, it's a bit like saying, well, you know, I want a cup of tea. Well, you can want. That's exactly what the cups are about. Our wants, our feelings, our grief, our sadness, our happiness, a new beginning, an ending, emotions, and so on. You know, so much there. So there is a system. So I teach a system, but obviously this is a workshop for me to tell you. There is so much more I can teach you, but let's start at the beginning. But it's exciting to know that you can go on and learn a system to feel that you are not lost when it comes to learning how to read the cards. Okay, so good morning, Nicola. Hello, Facebook user. Lovely to see you. Please do, by all means, add yourself to Restream and we'll know who you are. Okay. It's a romantic lover that could be coming into your life. And again, people say, well, who is it? Well, it's the person that's having the reading. Okay. But it is also an aspect of anyone that they're asking directly about. But that will also depend enormously upon where it comes up in the spread. For example, there is a part in the spread that I teach. I only teach one spread only, okay, that actually says to you, okay, this is where you find other people. This is where you find, in this case, the Scorpio. So we'd be looking for all the cards linked to Scorpio in the spread. Hi, Patsy. Great to see you too. I'll add you to the broadcast in a little while, okay? Lovely to see you. And you would look in the house of Scorpio. You would look for all the Scorpio cards. In this case, it's a Scorpio. So can you see what I'm saying? It's like there is so much. Sorry, I'm just going to put my cushion behind me because I'm sitting on it and I've got high heels on under the table. Unusual for me, instead of having my flats on. And it's made me a little bit taller, so I was feeling a bit uncomfortable. Sorry about that. So yeah, this is all to do with who, what, where, when, how. That's what we all want to know. And people say, how do you do that? Look, just start by knowing your card, but learn your astrological signs. Because once you know what the astrological signs are and how they relate to the cards, even if you can't learn the planets, the planets like the Fool is Uranus and, we go on to the world, being, the fact that it is the world, the planet, the world, and the sun is the sun, and the moon is the moon. You see there, you've got a couple already. You don't have to worry. Okay, but if you can learn the 12 astrological signs, you can identify who that person is when they're asking about someone specific. I'm sorry for hearing any noise in the background. Oh, brilliant. Well, I can hear tapping, anything. I've tried to work around them, but it's kind of impossible. So either this or not at all. I've got a lot of private readings lined up for today. So I wanted to jump on to make sure that we didn't miss out and you could enjoy your Easter. My very best wishes to everybody for a happy Easter, by the way. So, yeah, Knight of Cups, we're talking about Scorpio. Now, what if they're not a Scorpio? Right. They're behaving like one. I'm a Cancerian, okay, that's my sun sign, but my ascendant is in Scorpio, okay, my moon is in Leo. So what does that make me? Well, it means that everything that I do in life is driven by that Scorpio aspect. The intensity, the depth, why I don't want to just do things by half measures. It's about needing to go right in and learn the secrets and the mysteries fully, intensely, acutely, okay? So this is someone that's always looking for social invitations. They're incredibly enthusiastic. Someone with a good imagination, and beginnings are not so good. They're starting and they're not great at completing everything just yet. Why? He's a knight. He has yet to learn. And depends whether he feels like it. Hello, we've got somebody in from Twitch there. How are you? Miss Cutie Rose. Love it. Hello, Miss Cutie Rose. Welcome, welcome. So, this is tarot training, and you're very welcome to learn all about the cards. So, we also have someone with unreliability. They're a bit unpredictable, but they are elegant and graceful and charming and probably have charisma. All knights are the bringers of hope, whatever suit they're in, okay? But particularly in this regard, because it's the emotions. Miss Cutie, I am doing just well. Happy Easter to you and welcome, welcome. Glad you found us. Please do enjoy as we go through the cards. Today we are looking at the Knight of Cups and the Page of Cups. Okay, so there is a belief in love, beauty and the arts with this person, and they are a dreamer with great ideas that may, however, might not come to anything. It isn't that they're callous, they're not at all, but simply never come down to earth because they're always emotional and looking to develop much of a home life or career is much more likely. They're chasing rainbows in the quest for some romantic notion. Intensity, depth, I feel it, I want to do it. So they can start things and not always finish, but they do so with passion. Now, if we look at our card, we can see that the knight is on the horse, okay? And look at how the horse is. When you're looking at cards, just look at the card itself, and that's where Rider-Waite comes in. And in this case, I've used the Radiant Rider-Waite to demonstrate on the PDF for you. Happy Easter to Miss Cutie Rose. Thank you. And so if we look, the symbology that's going on there, and I can only touch on this briefly because it's a quick workshop here. It's not like I'm going to give you all of the things that I do on my, gosh, I don't know how long my videos are, but each video that I've put up in Tarot Courses .online is I've done all of the cups and then I've done the court cards separately, giving you everything that I know there so that you know what I know, and of course, yeah, you'll have to digest it. But if you look, okay, look at the horse, look at the elegance, the stylishness. There are horses that are, this is not somebody that's actually racing a horse, although they are beautiful, they have more stamina. This is much more of like dressage sort of horse, elegance, dancing, beautiful, graceful, just simply like our knight, elegance and beauty, refinement. He's holding that cup. The cup represents the emotions, okay, and feelings of all sorts, good, bad, ugly, not so great, starts, ends, difficulties, struggles, navigation, feeling difficulties in huge ways, The water that you can see there and the stream that's running, again, represents the emotions. Excuse me. I need a sip of water. I'm a bit dry. Sorry. It's got a little hotter here today. My apologies for not having my glass as usual. But it's a bit difficult to bring everything up to the third floor when you've got that going on in the background. Sorry. I've really tried to work around it. My apologies for the builders. Sorry. So, the mountains represent the struggles and the hills, things yet to be sort of navigated, difficulties that may come. The ground, we can sort of see in this actual sort of colouring of the ground that's yellow, and that could be sand, or that could just be the earth, the terra, the earth that he's standing on. It means that there's a groundedness too. Okay, so you've been given quite a lot there. There's a lot of symbology going on there with those feathers and all of that. So I'll leave you to actually just digest what we've got here. Do get your free copy from me. I'm more than happy. There's nothing, I won't spam you or anything. It's just, boom, have your copy. And look, support me on YouTube by actually just viewing and turning up and watching. And if you subscribe, oh, you've joined. Miss Cutie Rose has joined us. Welcome. You'll see a few comments coming up in a minute, Miss Cutie Rose. Thank you. It's a way of learning. And do you know something? I make, a full-time living, and I went on to be able to give other people that opportunity. All about why? Because I created a company where they could all work with me on a huge platform where we provide 24/7. That company's still going. Those people are still working for that company that I founded. I'm on my own journey now because I'm more interested in having a little go at, courses. Instead of just reading for hours and hours, which I love, but I wanted to do this. So I'm doing both. I'm mixing and balancing. And it was a little bit out of balance for me on just reading, 6 hours a day, 5 days a week. I loved it. And I'm reading intensely now, but not like that. I'm able to do the courses, you see, and I'm able to actually do a little bit less by working for myself and plan more social media for everybody. That's what I wanted to go in the direction of, and that's kind of why I walked away and said, I'll leave you guys to it now. I've done it for quite some time with you. So yeah, and I used to mentor and help lead social media and support all of the readers that worked on that platform. Well, Miss Cutie Rose, subscribe. I'm just going to add you to the broadcast. Look at this, folks. This is exactly what I'm looking for. Isn't that fabulous? You're in the right place, okay? And my moderator, Nicola, is there while I'm teaching live to be able to give you any feedback you need. And I believe Tony's also there, Tony Pipe. He's also a moderator. We can give you that information of where to go. But for now, stick with us here, see how, test it, see what you think. And find us on Fridays, where last night, you can look at the replay of last night's live. By the way, hello, Laurel. How are you? Laurel, is that how you pronounce that? Welcome. Okay, so continuing, I'm training and I'm teaching you tarot cards and how to read if you want to be a reader. And, you might be able to make a living. Why not? They're working from online, working for yourself, working for a company, whatever you want to do. Okay, so it's all there. So back to the Page of Cups. My apologies. I normally do the Page of Cups and the Knight of Cups, but I'm sure you'll forgive me. Okay, sometimes I have to make sure that the camera fits in with the writing, so I went backwards and forwards and forgot to put it back to the Page of Cups. So my apologies. Page of Cups. It's Pisces. So Pisces dates are the 19th of February to the 20th of March. So straight away, if you ask, the person that's wanting the reading, when's your birthday? And you find out they're a Pisces, you pick all of your cards out, that's Pisces. Well, let me say that again. When the spread comes out, you look and pick up on all of the Pisces cards that show up in your spread. So your major card would be the Moon, you've got the Page of Cups, and so on. Okay, so you have Page of Cups being Pisces. I've given you the dates, and on my courses I give you the list of all of that, and you can sign in, and they're not expensive. I've tried to make sure that you can realistically invest and afford it to educate yourself and stick with it, so it's valuable enough for you. And believe me, it took me a long time to actually put it all together, because I used to teach it one-to-one in classes, in groups, telephone conference, video calls, but I just needed it to be available for when people had time, because the main problem is different times, can't do that time, can't do this, we've all got busy lives, so that's why I put it online. You can do it when you want, okay? And that's the whole idea. And, I can support you because having navigated a big company of tarot readers, psychics, clairvoyants, mediums, and astrologers, then I can give you that support that I gave them. I know what it's like. I know how you can go, God, I got card blindness. Oh my God, what shall I do? This customer wanted this and I didn't know how to answer. What should I have said? What should I have done? And I'm trained, and I don't think I'm any good at this. And it's like, hold on, come on. Or I didn't know what to say, or they asked me something, I don't want to answer that. You're in charge. You can actually say, I'm sorry, no. I did that last night to somebody, not in a rude way. Just said, hold on, you're asking too many questions here. Other people are here. Hold on a minute. And this is about someone else. And, you give me a letter and just gone, who they're going to marry, who, what, where, when, and how. Impossible to answer that with just a few cards on a live. So I'm not going to turn around and go, yes, 3 bags full. Why? Because it wouldn't be ethical. Okay? Hello, another one. How are you? Avithra. You're welcome. If you want to learn tarot, let your friends know. It's business here. So, Pisces, and Page of Cups. I'm good, Pavitra. Thank you so much. How are you? Happy Easter. Intuition and compassion and emotions. That's what comes from the Page of Cups. Now look at our flamboyant character. Look at how it's dressed. Snazzy, fabulous. Okay. Sorry about the actual knocking that's going on in the background. Having a new floor laid, and I jumped on while they were having their break. But obviously, I don't know what time they started their break, and they've kind of finished their break, and it's clashing. But here we are. So it was that or not at all this weekend, being Easter, and we were all busy, and so am I, of course. So here we are. Forgive me. It'll all be over next time. We don't usually have those sound effects. So our flamboyant character is dressed in a wonderful way. And look at those boots, and look at the red tights and all the colours. All the colours are significant of telling you something. The red. Well, I'm going to ask you, Nicola, if you're there, when I say red to you, what's the first thing that pops into your head? Come on. Oh, there. Somebody? Anybody? I know you're watching, so it'd be lovely if you can actually sort of tell me that. There's no right or wrong answer. It's not a test. I just want to see what you're going to say, because then I want to be able to help you and encourage you and go, right, that's your guides and that's your symbology telling you something that's really powerful, okay? So there is a delay as I stream and I get a comment coming in. Nicola could be busy, and it would be nice if somebody wants to actually have a go. What do you feel or think of when I say to you red? What's the first word that pops in your head? Or it doesn't matter why, yeah? It just doesn't. It's important that it's yours. And another time you might actually go, hold on, I was thinking, right, fire energy. Okay, thank you, Facebook user. Terribly sorry, I don't have your name. Look, fire energy. And you can see Facebook user. I'm sorry, I can't put your name up in quite the same way as I could as if it was this, you see? Okay, so if you want to add yourself to the restream comments, Nicola's posted it up there and they'll be able to see who you are. There it is, up there with Nicola. Okay, so yeah, fire energy. So yeah, fire. So the red is symbolic for you, Facebook user, and for me on occasions, and for everybody, can represent fire energy. It can represent confidence. It can represent all sorts of things. Look, I'll also show you. I don't know if you can see. Can you see my ruby ring there? Okay, showing you that. I like to wear that. That's my red. Why? It's my confidence. Yeah, it's my base chakra. So I like to wear that, even if I'm not actually wearing red. I'm dressed in black and jeans today. And so, you can have it on your underwear, can't you? Or your nails. Quite often I do that. It's because sometimes I need to make sure I'm connecting with my red. So Facebook user, fire energy, yeah, that's your symbology and that's your intuition telling you something about this card when it comes up for you in a reading or with a particular person. And the red for me is confidence, it's passion, it's the drive, it's the force, it's danger, it's stop, it's all of those things. Do you see what I mean? And then you've got the yellow in this, as in his boots are yellow. Well, that's cheerfulness. You've got the goldenness of the cup. Could that be the golden sort of chakra that comes from here? Or could that represent the yellow gold that comes from the chakra on our solar plexus? Do you see? So there's so much going on again. Got the water in the background, symbolic of emotions. Look at it. It's gentle, it's rippling, it's moving. Things are gentle here. But look in that cup. He's got a fish. What's that about? Well, it tells you that normally we see emotions in our symbology of water, and the cups are all about emotions. But in a cup, you would normally expect to see liquid. In this case, you're seeing a fish, right? Why? Because he's got imagination, he's creative, he's thinking outside of the box. Here's somebody that really thinks out of the box, creative, perhaps an artist, an artist that draws or graphics or performs in some way, or paints or creates. You see what I mean? So Page of Cups is the bringer of small messages of love. So in a reading, that might come up and they might say, am I going to hear from them? Look for Page of Cups. Is there a message there for love from the other person that they're asking about? It's a romantic card, okay? This is flirty energy. And I see this, I think, right, we're having a little bit of a flirt here. This might not go anywhere. And how would you know? Well, I'll tell you one of the tricks, okay? Secrets trick. That sounds like it's something horrible. A tip and a trick, or a secret of how it all works is you would look to see if the page grows up. So in your reading, you can look to see, is the page elevating into a knight or a queen or a king? And you'd be looking in your reading, your spread, to see whether that develops. And it doesn't matter if it's not of the same suit, but it would tell you a lot if it was. And if it becomes, Page of Cups into, say, Knight of Wands, this person is growing up into serious stuff and they're going to act on it. So I'm sharing with you how, and all that will come later. But that's on the courses. I can't possibly cover everything I've done on the courses, time, etc. And of course, I need to make a living too. So please go and have a look at those courses. So, yellow, beautiful yellow going on there. And the blue, what does that make you think of? It's healing colour, isn't it? Communication. Yeah? Why? It's the throat area. And it's that beautiful calmness, whenever my throat's sore, I have to make sure I'm wearing blue to actually make sure I'm supported around this area. I've had my thyroid removed about 5 years ago, so more than ever I have to take care of my throat. My nodules were actually on my voice box, would you believe? So there you go, I'm lucky. I did look after myself, but perhaps because I talked so much, it was these things happen, don't they? So we have to look after ourselves. So blue, communication, the throat area, and being supported calmly, peacefully by the universe. So all those colours and that symbology, and there's tons more I'm not touching on, but I've just talked about a couple of them. There's a connection with fantasy with this person. Okay, they may actually turn around. Remember the 70s, glam rock, that kind of thing, punk rock, all of that kind of thing. What am I thinking of? I'm thinking of New Romantics. I'm thinking of punks. I'm thinking of glam rock, and it's all expressions of artists and music and what they were feeling and thinking at the time. Beautiful things, very Duran Duran. Those. Or Spandau Ballet, this puffed up sort of sleeves and theatrical stage. And it's fun, it's flirty, it's entertaining. So they've got a vivid imagination, they connect with fantasy, they're dreamy and sometimes immature. I want to do that. Have you thought about, I don't want to. This can be somebody that develops a crush because they've got an enthusiastic nature. So they could be falling in love with everything and not really falling in love at all. It's infatuation. There's an immaturity sometimes. They need to grow up. But we don't want to be like this, dreamy and romantic and how it was in our teens. What's wrong with that, It's not great walking into a business meeting like that, I know, unless, of course, the project is artistic. But do you see? So this is how you can see, how things are going. So if somebody says at work, am I going to get the job? What do you think of me? They might think, a bit immature, if this comes up. But you'll be looking to see. Maybe they go into the Knight of Cups like we talked about. They're flamboyant, they're artistic, and this fellow's this character, and it's not a he or she. It's just Page. We're talking agenda just for the sake of one. I don't like to talk like that. Is the most sensitive, compassionate, emotional, and artistic of all of the pages. So I adore Page of Cups. Soft space in my heart. Opportunities that require imagination and sensitivity come from our Page of Cups. And the page is a dreamer and a fantasist at times, but he's usually best in a setting in which he can supply the hopes and aspirations and the visions for a project for others, and maybe do what he needs to do and leave the organisation to other people and the production. Okay, so I don't know if anybody's got any questions. We've still got a few people with us. Normally what happens is everyone says, can I have a reading? Can I have a reading? Well, it's not happened today because our Nicola's been on the ball and helped me out enormously. My huge thanks for that. I don't mind that. I know it's confusing. Fridays is free readings and Saturdays training, but it does actually make me feel awful to turn somebody down. That's why. So I don't feel I'm disappointing anybody or crushing them when they were looking for an answer and I couldn't actually give it. Okay, so let's move to this scene. Okay, let me see. There you go. Okay, so I've got your comments up there as well. Isn't that lovely? Yeah? So we can see you all up there. It's a little bit different to the one I did last night. We're just trying different sort of ranges out, but there you go. So look, if you want, please do actually type your comments on there. I forgot my banner. Goodness me. Hold on. I don't know which one's going to pop up. Oh, we'll get rid of it because it's going across me. Okay, so I don't want to upset the apple cart. Anyway, not to worry. Okie dokie. Right, here I've got some of the tarot cards that I own to show you different decks. And of course, we're doing the Page of Cups and we're doing the Knight of Cups. So I'm showing you different decks. Okay, so let's start with the Muse. So look, that's a very different, okay, put that there beside me. The Muse, Page of Emotions. So look, heart chakra, yeah, golden in this case, not quite like we were talking about before because the heart area is actually green, but there you go. And the fish, representing Pisces perhaps, all around there, sea urchins and all the rest of it. And if you look, this is an octopus, actually combined in with the dress, I think, of this person. And that, I would say, represents the emotion, water in this regard. This could be water, this could be the sky. You've got the radiance there. You've got the red, as in the passion and the confidence and the fire energy. Thank you, Facebook user. You said that there. So, yeah, that's great. That comes up. Let me put that down there and then went. There we go. Okay. So, you're welcome to chat away. So that's great, isn't it? But you might need to look quite deeply for that. And when you're following someone's system, such as learning, maybe with myself or a book that you pick up, tends to go with a Rider-Waite based deck. And it can be difficult when you've got something that's just a little bit outside of the box, although it's brilliant for an intuitive reader or somebody that's excited. But if you're struggling, change your deck maybe, and it might help. The reason I'm saying get the PDFs from me is the PDF is the same as I'm using, it's just white. So you've got the card on the sheet, which I was trying to make easy for you so you didn't have to do what I used to have to do, which is get the exercise book out and flick backwards and forwards, back in the day when I was studying, and then turn around and get the card out and then, oh, hang on, go through the deck, and then, oh, I've lost time now. It took me 15 minutes to do that. That was my break. I can't do it. And, ooh, I tried to make it really easy for you with just a taster, but I'm only giving you a taster. There is so much more that, putting the pieces of the puzzle together to be able to read for somebody instead of just giving them a card and telling them, I think this and I think that. You're not meant to give your opinion, really, are we? We use that term, but what we want to do is actually give them impartial advice that comes from the cards and the symbology and the meaning of the reading and being as accurate and on point as you could, which is why I used to get queues for 2 to 3 hours. The longest reading I ever did was 6.5 hours. That was someone from Jersey phoning, and she'd just got so many questions. She'd found me, and it was like, I'm not letting go of you. And the queue was building up, and it's like, I cannot do any longer. And people were prepared to wait because they've got pressing questions that they knew that the tarot spread I used would actually provide those answers. And I'm talking people that, ordinary life, difficult lives, and very prominent people and VIPs in the world. So there you go. It's why? Because it provided them with things that they needed to know, that they needed that impartial advice from the reading. And that's what I'm saying. Okay, Prince of Cups on this one. Now, this is one of my favourite decks. It's the Druid Craft Tarot deck. And the size of the cards are actually, that is the size of the cards. I'm showing you the back. This is actually the Princess of Wands. It's the only one. It's a spare card that somebody gave me in a shop, a Mind, Body and Spirit exhibition back in London. I think I bought this deck in Devon. And they gave me that. It's pick a card and you can keep it. It's like, that's lovely. So I kept it as an example. Because they are so big and I shuffle so many cards every day, so often. You see what I'm trying to say? Yeah, they're quite big and wide. Maybe I've got small hands. I trimmed them down. I just drew around a regular sized tarot card. So that's what I wanted to show you. Yours would look like that. But, I trimmed mine down for small hands. Because when they're big, although I can actually cope with them and use them, it's hard on the hands when you're doing that much shuffling in a day. It's my job. And I needed to be comfortable, so I trimmed them down. So mine looked like that. I could have done a much better job, but I was happy enough. Okay, so Page of Cups, I think they look rather lovely. Borders are nice. I don't think, the problem was, I remember looking and going, I don't want the border, I don't want the border. I don't think it comes without the border. Didn't back when I bought those, whenever that was. Okay, so look, Prince of Cups in this regard. Okay, actually, I beg your pardon. The Princess of Cups is actually the Page of Cups, and the Prince of Cups is the Knight of Cups. So it's a bit confusing in that deck. Again, I was just hurrying to get ready, hoping that I would beat the builders. But these are two great decks. That's the Muse, and this is the Druid Craft. Okay, so here, Princess of Cups is looking into her cup, no fish there. Okay, and we can see her feet on the ground. We've got the green grass there. She's earthed in the same way. The water's still there. We've got nature in the background. We've got the golden chalice. She's not as flamboyantly dressed. So again, it wouldn't be that easy, like in the Rider-Waite, to like this one. Look, it's straight away you go right, and you see if you can think of somebody, just for today, I don't usually always see this. Everything's different every time I look at a card. But, I would connect and go New Romantic, Spandau Ballet, Duran Duran. If it's too, go and Google it if you're too young. And if you're too young, lucky you. I'm not. I remember that. Gosh, all that time ago. I bet you are and won't remember. But there was the New Romantic stage. And it was all about, as I said, art students forming music and dressing like this and entertaining us. And it was fabulous. We'd got glam rock, like T-Rex, we'd got the New Romantics. Why? They were just, it was a whole time of great music, great dress, and it was all about their art, their music, and designers, and they were fashion students, and it's just great, absolutely fabulous. So what am I saying? Think of someone like that. Who do you know that's like that? That will help you. And if you then go, right, let's say, for example, I'll connect with that for a moment, that person, Page of Cups, is perhaps Martin Kemp from Spandau Ballet, or Simon Le Bonbon from Duran Duran, something like that, yeah? Or Mark Bolan from T-Rex, who's no longer with us. If you can think of something like that and you remember what they were like, it helps you connect with this card. Why? Because you're picking up your psychic intuition. Or if you know a Pisces, what are they like? What do they do? What do they eat? What do they not like? What's the good parts about them? What's the not so good? What's their strengths? What's their weaknesses? That's what it's all about. Okay? Page of Cups in this one. There it is. This is the Robin Wood Tarot, okay? And I love this deck. A little bit simplified, a little bit more like sketches, but beautiful watercolours sort of in the background there. Again, flamboyant. And this time, it's a she, isn't it? And it certainly looks like that. And yeah, look at how she's dressed. Look at that. Love that. It's an artist's palette dangling there from either her hand or is it from her belt? Not quite sure. Okay, the flamboyance is there. Again, that makes me feel that that's somebody that's going to go on stage and look, gorgeous lights glinting and flashing out of that chalice or that goblet or that cup. And then this deck. Now, this is a lovely deck. The colours are great, and it's based very much on the Rider-Waite, as these two are, and these two are not so much. Okay? Whatever floats your boat. But rather than kind of go, why am I struggling? I'm trying to say you might struggle. You might struggle. You might struggle. It's not strong, I've got to be honest. Okay? Again, not as strong as the one I demonstrated. There's more going on in that traditional Rider-Waite deck. Okay? These are Rider-Waite based. These two. Not so much. Okay? So, Page of Cups here, again, flamboyant, again, look, strutting his stuff, hand on the hip, there's a gesture there, the body language, hand on the hip there, it's telling you something, I'm not afraid, I'm going to have a go. So what? It's nice. All right, so these are the different decks. Does anybody have any questions? We're all very quiet. It's lovely that you're watching. Thank you. Right, let's move it. See, even that, I'm an experienced reader and I didn't clock that when I was putting it out. So, hang on a minute. Princess of Cups should actually represent... I know it, but I'm just saying when I put it out in a hurry, it was like, oh gosh, I've got to put it the other way round so that all the knights are together. So the knight in the Druid Craft Tarot deck is actually known as Prince, okay? And sometimes they change it in this deck as well. Not so much with the page and the knights, but with the queen and... No, actually the suits, I beg your pardon. It's the suits that they do it with. Got decks that do that sometimes as well. Gosh, sorry folks, I had surgery. My legs are aching a little bit at the moment. It was on my legs. Right, okay. So, Knight of Emotions rather than Knight of Cups, coming from the Muse Tarot there. Okay. Again, beautiful. Love this deck, but really hard for a beginner. All right, and to get any depth out of that, it's hard because you've got the elegance of that dressage horses, I call it, okay, and you've got the water there, and you've got the seashell there, and the fish, and you might go, that's a lot. Yeah, but you've got a lot more in the other, don't you? But beautiful. Don't think I'm saying don't, because if that was the case, I would not be preaching to you and using them myself and being hypocritical. It's just that sometimes different deck, and I use a different deck for different people sometimes. Sometimes I use the right away. You see me change it all the time. You see me on camera last night, moving backwards and forwards from this one to that one. Also, depends on my energy, their energy, all sorts of different things. But, it's nice to have different decks because they do speak to you in different ways. When I connect with the Druid Tarot deck, which reminds me of Devon and Cornwall, medieval sort of Celts place, and Ireland and Scotland, wonderful places that we've holidayed in and had great times, and some of the most powerful spiritual sort of enlightenments and times in my journey as a tarot reader and consultant and intuitive, call it what you want, looked at everything. But I would say it was the time when some of the biggest stumbling blocks of connecting and understanding and feeling, pieces are all coming together in the puzzle here, came when I bought this deck. Not because of the deck, it was just symbolic of that time in my life. And so there's a great connection to that deck. I can remember kind of like everything coming together, all flowing together. It was years and years and years ago when it's well used. I can't believe the box is in such good nick, but there you go. Yeah, I do use them a lot. If you saw the back, look, that's changed a little bit, hasn't it? You see what I mean? There you go, sharing my secrets. But it's a lovely deck, and we've got our knight on the horse with his cup representing his emotion, and the horse, well, almost looks like Goldilocks there. Not showing you on the move, not got the elegance. I quite like to see that the horse is, I like to see this. What does it mean? It's telling us the elegance of that person. They're moving, they're getting on with it, they're not. This kind of suggests they're staying still. The horse isn't moving. So again, you see a different deck, you might pull that for a reason and go, normally I'd say this, but in this case, this person's emotional, they're passionate, but they're taking a little rest at the moment. That's what I'd say with that one. Okay, you've got the moon going on there, you've got beautiful water. It's a beautiful deck, full of colour. Again, that all means something, as you know. Okay, Knight of Cups in the Robin Wood Tarot. Sorry about the background noise, folks. It's going to be one of those, isn't it? You really, really can see that this horse is playing and delightful and charging, and a knight smiling. I actually really like that. Fun, it's frothy, it's like champagne. Champagne's bubbly and frizzy and makes you feel good, but then it can go a bit flat, can't it? And then we can kind of go, I'm headachy after that, I need to drink more water. It can be that it kind of like, it peaks and then it kind of, that's how it can be. All right, so think about that. All right. Knight of Cups here. A little bit washed out on this one. It feels a little bit like, oh, hang on a minute, where's the colour gone? But there you go. But again, love the elegance. We've got the mountains, the difficulties that they may actually have to face and the challenges. The water representing the emotion, and it looks quite smooth there, whereas that looks quite exciting. That looks silky and dreamy, doesn't it? This looks a little bit champagne-y again. Do you see? So different deck, you might say a different thing to somebody. Go into your cards, look at the details. Does it mean this? Does it mean that? If it's something you're picking up from the images, that's what it means. But I would say to just kind of go in and just try and cold read a card, if you like, or intuitively push yourself to read a card. And go, I'm getting this, I'm feeling that. And somebody waiting 10 minutes for me to say another sentence. None of those readers ever went on to be professional. We couldn't actually have somebody paying for a reading with somebody going, well, hang on a minute, because it's just not fair on the paying client. Fine, if they want to go and do it with their friends or their own personal clients, but you can't do that. And if that's where you're getting stuck, if you're already a reader, I can help you with that. Go on to www.tarotcourses.online, where you can go and buy the Cup family, or because we've been looking at the court cards, you can go and buy the court cards. And the court cards, I've done all 16 for you, just as a separate course. Okay. I think that's it today. I think we've covered all bases. I'll be back on Friday when we are back for more free 5 o'clock readings for tarot. Thank you all so much for your time and watching. It's lovely to have you along. And yeah, you can see who you are there. Look, joining in. I keep scrolling the wrong one. Look. So it's lovely to have Miss Cutie Rose today. And Laurel, we also have Blanche, lovely, and Tony, and Patsy A, Nicola T, and Nicola T 28. Thank you very much for all your help with this one today. Again, from last night, she's actually really let everybody know what this is all about today. And Facebook user, thank you so much for your comment that helped us all with what you felt via energy. Absolutely right. That's how it is. So until next time, and did you hear, Nicola, the beep's back, the ping's back? Yeah? Some people didn't like it, and we got rid of it, and it was a bit soulless without it last night. So I've got it back. I hope you can all hear it. That just tells us when a comment's coming in. And Nicola, thank you very much. Yeah, I missed it too. My biggest thanks to all of you for watching. I hope this helps. Don't forget, you can write to me at, I don't know if somebody wants to type that, hello at, so it's just then tarotcourses.online. If you want to type that, we'll put that up there for you as well. Okay? And yeah, if you've enjoyed this and you've not seen us before, go into the playlists on YouTube. It's all under the playlist of Tarot Tuition and Tarot Workshops. There's 2 different ones there. And go and look at some of the videos. Card of the Day. That, actually, go and look at Card of the Day, because there I just do the card and do quite a lot. Yeah. Yeah. Victor will be happy also, because the ping's back. Call it ping. Lovely. Thank you. All right. Take care of yourselves, everybody. Happy Easter. Thank you so much for your time, especially on your precious weekend. And it's Easter weekend. Didn't want to actually not do our lesson today, and it feels lovely. And just great to have your comments on screen as always. I'll see you on Friday, and I'll see you next weekend, either Saturday or Sunday, for more Tarot Tuition. In the meantime, if you want to know more, jump on to tarotcourses.online, okay, where you can definitely learn more than I can show you on here. Till then, bye-bye.